It is an unboxing video, and no, it isn't a Starshop Trumpets review. I've got something from Amazon here, and it feels quite thin, but it also feels like it might be a hardcover, and I didn't know what that would be. Let's just get this open. What have we got? Well, it isn't a hardcover at all. This is Daredevil Epic Collection, Last Rites. Not feeling too thrilled with the binding here. This is volume 15, collecting stuff from 1990 to 1992. We have Daredevil issues 283 to 300 and annual 7. This collects the end of the Ann Nocenti run and the beginning of a run by a very bad writer. Although his first story, which is collected here, is fine. We open up with an issue that loosely ties in with Captain America, Marky Mark's run on Captain America, the Streets of Poison storyline, where Captain America gets addicted to meth. It sounds worse than it is. We have art here by Martin Bagels. I didn't think he draws many issues of Daredevil. I think he's just a fill-in artist here. Has Martin Bagels ever had a run on Captain America? I didn't think he has. His Captain America just looks right though. Make him the main artist on Captain America's book, why not? What am I saying? Of course he did. He did the backup features in Marky Mark's run for a while. So not Captain America proper. I think they were mostly Us Agent stories and Rachel Diamond solo stories. Then we get into Ann Nocenti's final story arc, which pits Daredevil against his arch nemesis, Bullseye Man. And I think this general story was loosely what inspired the crap version of Bullseye Man in the Netflix show. There's Typhoid Alice. She is sexy. Oh, I'd love to have it off with her. What happens in this is amnesia. Daredevil becomes a boxer. Adrian! Meanwhile, Bullseye Man finds Daredevil's costume, so he puts it on and he starts ganning around and killing people, which leads us to the climax in issue 290, where Daredevil fights Bullseye Man and they're wearing the other's costume. So this here is Daredevil and that is Bullseye Man. Are you confused yet? So yeah, it's a big smackdown between the two characters. And I was wrong, this is actually Ann Nocenti's final issue, 291. It's a quick catch-up / resolution to one of the villains who she created and introduced earlier in the run. She actually introduced quite a lot of villains, but the only one anyone bothers to remember is Typhoid Alice. Then we have an annual, which is part of a really crap crossover. But the cover is good. It is by Michael Elboy. Daredevil fights some Hydra stuff. And then the Punisher fights some Hydra stuff. And then Captain America fights some Hydra stuff. And the three characters never come together. And there's no real overarching story. It's just not very good. It's barely a crossover. It's barely even a story. Then we jump back in with Daredevil 292, which begins the run by Doug Chesterton. And it is a bad run. But the 8 or so issues that are in here are fine. This first one, has Daredevil and the Punisher face Taskman. And it's nothing special, but you can have some fun with this. It's readable, it passes the time, it's not worth ignoring. Less good is 294, which I can't even remember. Some bonuses here. 295 gives us a crossover with Ghost Driver. It was the 90s, and Ghost Driver was somehow a sales dynamo. Another bonus, the cover to Marvel Age magazine, issue 106. A pretty good cover. Yeah, this story seems to be Daredevil fights a sumo, so I forgot this for a good reason. And then with 297, we start the last Rites story. It is also known as Fall of the Kingpin Man. And this issue has Typhoid Alice, so it's already good. It's about the only good story Doug Chesterton wrote on Daredevil. This story was meant to be a sequel to Reborn Again, and it doesn't measure up to that, but it's not a bad story. This issue here has loads of Typhoid Alice, and the only time I have ever related to Daredevil is here, where he just gives in and he decides to have sex with Typhoid Alice. But then it is undercut on the next page, with it just being him manipulating her to get her sectioned, which opens up a whole avalanche of accusations that he kind of raped her there. And this all reaches its end in issue 300, which is also the cover they put on the front of this collection. And noticeably, they haven't remastered it. What this story does, it lets Daredevil beat Kingpin Man, because in Reborn Again, Kingpin Man never really got his comeuppance. Daredevil bounced back, but he never really scored a victory in response to Kingpin Man destroying his life. So that's basically what this story is. The extras, we have pieces from Marvel Age magazine about the 300th issue. Great reading if you want to see a bunch of comic book creators offer up corporate sound bites about comics being great. Bloody hell, 6 whole pages of it. Yes, they got Hank Miller. This might actually be interesting, might be worth reading. And that's it. It fills the shelves, doesn't it? I think now we have the back end of Ann Nocenti's run. We just need one volume collecting the beginning of it. I think the first collection of her run started with 250, so we just need 234 to 249. Yeah, that's easily doable in one volume. Even Doug Chesterton's run, we didn't need that much more of that. I think just the next volume, volume 16. It depends how they collect the Dead Man's Hand crossover. I think they're going to collect the whole crossover, because otherwise volume 16 is going to be canny thin. I think Daredevil might have the most comprehensive assortment of Epic Collections. This was Daredevil Epic Collection volume 15. What about it? 7 thumbs up.